Alright, so I'm Corey Reed, as you all know, and this is Mr. Bill Torr from the good old Coast Guard. So, Mr. Torr, tell us a day-to-day about your job.
So, being in the Coast Guard, I did the aviation side of things. It's more of a at-home, family-oriented job. So, I'll wake up in the morning, go to work. I might be working on the aircraft. I could go flying on them that day. The Coast Guard is small enough to where we fix and fly on the aircraft we work on. So I do aviation electronics in the Coast Guard, so that's my main focus when I get to work. That's more knowing the wiring, knowing the boxes that control everything, from engines to communications, navigation equipment, radars, and so on.
So, tell us, the responsibilities of your job. What does your job do for the Coast Guard?
For aviation electronics, and the whole aviation side in general, it's making sure that the aircraft are fixed correctly, safe to fly on, and also that you know how to use that equipment when you're flying. For myself, I would be using cameras, radars, navigation equipment, and whatnot to find boaters in distress, people in the water. We do law enforcement as well, too.
So, let's say I'm fresh out of high school. Do I need any degrees, certifications to, join, or, kind of just join straight out?
You just need your high school diploma. We do some background checks on you. We look at your ASVAB score and your overall fitness and a physical. And after you meet all those standards, then you would do 8 weeks in Cape May, New Jersey.
Mm. So let's say you love your job, right?
Yep.
Definitely. So what do you love about your job?
I've been to a lot of places being in aviation. So a lot of Central, South America, the Caribbean islands. So I got to travel a lot. Yeah. Met my wife through traveling. So yeah, it's been a good career. It's been fun.
It sounds like, So, what are, advantages or disadvantages of your job? Because, me, I heard from, a lot of military guys that, you join in, you get a GI Bill, and,
right.
Your college is paid for and all that.
Yep.
So, with your job, what are some advantages from that?
So, we get the same benefits that all the other military branches get. You're going to get health care, you're going to get housing allowances, food allowances. You're all on the same pay scale. We don't travel as much, so the Coast Guard's more what's going on with Homeland Security. That's who we work for. So we care about more the search and rescue and law enforcement side within and around our borders. Not so much stuff going on overseas and in the Middle East and Russia and stuff like that. So we just care about what's going on back home.
So who else work with you? Doctors, electricians.
Yeah, we have all sorts of other career fields outside of aviation. We have our health services. We also have more of the boat side, the surface side of the Coast Guard. That's what most people think of when they think of the Coast Guard. So we have our bosuns and mates, our damage controlmen, machinery technicians, electronics technicians. They all work on the boats themselves and crew and man them. And they're doing very similar missions to what we do on the aviation side.
So, do you ever feel pressures from your missions or anything you do?
The search and rescue mission. You always want to find that boater in distress or person in the water. The law enforcement side too. You always want to find the targets of interest and stop the illegal activities coming in and out of the U.S.
So, has it been any days you woke up and was man, I can't do it, or man, I'm ready to do it? Which one have you done?
I think every job's like that. No matter if you go in the military or not, you might have that one person you work for that you don't want to see that day, or it just might be a hard time in your life outside of work that has an effect on you. So no matter if you're in the military or you go to college and go on to work for a big business, I think everybody's going to have that same experience.
So I don't want to watch your policy or anything, but what is the salary of your job? How much you get paid?
It depends on your rank when you come in. Starting out it's between, I'd say around $3,500 up to our higher ups, and on the enlisted side, about $7,000-8,000, if not more a month. And even our officers get more than that the higher up they are. So
hey, if you want to break some bread, you can talk about LBTV,
Yep, you get your housing allowances as well. If you live on land, if you're stationed on land, or even if you have a family, they have to have a place to live. So you're going to get a housing allowance on top of all that as well. You don't have to pay for health care that everyone else has to pay for, so that's saving you a couple $100 a month.
So what's some general career advice you can give for let's say if I want to join, my cameraman want to join,
yep.
what would you tell us to
just start preparing yourself mentally and physically. That's how boot camp is. It's tough all around. It's a good starting point to just start preparing. Then start thinking about what you want to do in whatever military branch you join, even if it's not the Coast Guard. We all have different career fields. So hopefully the stuff we have interests you and it's something that you'd want to pursue. And then we can get you maybe a guaranteed school. We might be able to get you a bonus for that school. Just depends on what you would like to do.
So like, is boot camp, is it more like mentally taxing or physically taxing?
Depends on your character. If you're somebody who sticks out all the time, not only is it going to be always mentally kind of on your head and in your mind, but now they're going to come looking for you every time because you're going to be the one that's messing up. So if you're not mentally prepared or physically prepared, or you're goofing off all the time, you're going to stick out. And now they've noticed you, so now you're on their radar all the time.
Man, yeah, I ain't going to boot camp, y'all. I ain't going to boot camp. But that's really it, man. I'm glad you came out and
Appreciate it. Thanks
gave me the answers and sports.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good day.
We use a lot of hydraulic tools, cutters, spreaders, where we can actually take a car apart if need be. So, yeah.
What's the different types of like vehicles you use as a firefighter?
Different. So we have everything from a basic pickup truck. We have a rescue vehicle where we carry most of our tools. Right on up to a fire truck. We have here in Long Beach we have 3 engines and an aerial. So the ladder, our ladder is 75 feet, and all 3 of those are full of all the tools and equipment that we need. So,
does the type of call determine which vehicle goes to the call?
Typically, if we respond in a fire truck. Once upon a time, we would respond to medical calls in just a regular vehicle with a basically like a setup with a toolbox on the back that carries medical equipment. Excuse me. The rating bureau, they regulate everything we do in the fire service, and they're actually regulated by the insurance industry. So if you're not on a vehicle that actually carries water, you don't count as manpower. So basically, here in the city of Long Beach, if we're responding, we're in a fire truck.
Earlier you had said to go to the fire station. Do you like set appointments to go, or can you just show up?
You can call ahead if you like, but we're there. We're there literally 24/7. So feel free if anyone who is interested in, if you think that even a little bit that you might be interested in a career in the fire service, stop by. Everyone there will be more than willing to answer any questions you have. And we can talk about the equipment, but actually showing you and letting you put your hands on some of it, it's different to me. You're better off actually visiting the fire station. So knock on the door, ring the bell, and come on in. Yeah.
What is life like in the fire station? Like day-to-day life in the fire
Day
station?
to day, like, oh man. It's so, like I said, we're there 48 hours. So all our meals are there. We eat and sleep there. During the day, we're busy. We run a lot of calls. Exercise, always doing something. We're always recertifying, continuing education. Always, we're always learning something. Outside of that, on the downtime, a lot of working out. In the evenings, they watch a lot of football, sports, whatever's on at the time, because it's hard to work constantly around the clock. So they do get downtime, and it's a lot of laughing. Putting 12 guys together at one time. We call it a brotherhood, but it really is like a family.
So on TV, it portrays like a rivalry between firefighters and police. Is that like true in real life?
I would say in real life, I can only speak for Long Beach. I would say that there is a little bit of a rivalry between fire and police, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. We work a lot of calls together, but a lot of joking and practical jokes back and forth between which one's better. But yeah, I would say there's a little bit of a rivalry.